James and Lila seemed like the perfect couple, but an unexpected twist shattered their idyllic life. The day Lila announced her pregnancy should have been joyous, but James's unease grew as her behavior changed. Suspicion led James to a shocking discovery: Lila's infidelity with a client named Ethan. Driven by the need for truth, James decided on a DNA test, uncovering the painful reality that the child wasn't his. The confrontation with Lila was raw and devastating, leaving James to navigate the emotional aftermath. Supported by his sister Maya and friend Sophia, James embarked on a journey of self-discovery and healing. Through new hobbies and relationships, he found solace and strength. Despite the betrayal, James emerged resilient, embracing personal growth and forging a new path. His story is a powerful testament to the human spirit's capacity for renewal and the unexpected paths to healing. Hello, my friends. I hope all you are fine. This is Narrative Stories channel. Let's start this story. James and Lila seemed like the perfect couple. They had been together for over a decade, building a life full of shared dreams and cherished memories. James, a software engineer, and Lila, a marketing executive, complemented each other in every way. Their relationship was rooted in deep trust and mutual respect. They had weathered life's storms together, from financial hardships to personal losses, always emerging stronger. They often reminisced about their spontaneous road trips, cozy movie nights, and their unwavering support for each other's careers. To outsiders, they were the epitome of a happy, stable couple. They had a beautiful home, a close-knit group of friends, and plans for a family that would complete their idyllic picture. Despite the inevitable ups and downs, James believed their bond was unbreakable. He admired Lila's intelligence, wit, and compassion, while she appreciated his steadfastness and sense of humor. Their marriage was built on a solid foundation of trust, or so James thought. Little did he know, an unexpected twist of fate was about to challenge everything he believed about their relationship. Life, with its unpredictable turns, was poised to test their love in ways James could never have imagined. The day Lila announced she was pregnant should have been a joyous milestone in their lives. However, the circumstances surrounding her revelation left James with a lingering sense of unease. Lila mentioned the pregnancy after returning from a business trip, where she had met with a high-profile client named Ethan. Initially, James brushed off his doubts as baseless insecurities, but as days turned into weeks, he couldn't ignore the subtle changes in Lila's behavior. She became increasingly distant, her once warm and affectionate demeanor replaced by a cold, detached aura. Late-night phone calls and secretive text messages only fueled his growing suspicion. Lila's excuses for her absences seemed flimsy, and James found himself questioning her every move. He tried to dismiss his fears, reminding himself of the trust they had built over the years. Yet, the nagging feeling persisted, gnawing at his peace of mind. His worst fears were confirmed when he overheard a conversation between Lila and Ethan, filled with intimate undertones and hidden meanings. The realization that his wife might be unfaithful hit him like a ton of bricks, shattering his sense of security. The joyous news of the pregnancy was now overshadowed by a cloud of doubt and betrayal. James's world began to crumble, and he knew he had to uncover the truth, no matter how painful it might be. James's internal struggle was intense. The emotional turmoil he faced was a constant battle between his love for Lila and the gnawing suspicion of her infidelity. He spent countless sleepless nights replaying conversations and analyzing every detail of Lila's behavior. The weight of uncertainty was unbearable, and he realized he couldn't move forward without knowing the truth. The idea of a DNA test began to take root in his mind. It felt like a desperate measure, yet it was the only way to dispel the doubts that plagued him. James wrestled with the morality of his decision, torn between the potential consequences and the need for clarity. He sought solace in his sister, Maya, who had always been his confidant. Maya listened patiently as James poured out his fears and frustrations. She offered unwavering support, urging him to follow his instincts. Encouraged by her words, James made the difficult decision to pursue the DNA test. He approached Lila with a mix of trepidation and determination, masking his true intentions. The process of obtaining the test sample was fraught with anxiety, but James knew it was a necessary step. As he sent off the sample, he felt a heavy burden lift, replaced by a tense anticipation. The waiting period was excruciating, each day dragging on with a mix of hope and dread. James found himself caught in a whirlwind of emotions, questioning his every decision. The DNA test became a symbol of his quest for truth, a crucial turning point in his journey. He braced himself for the results, knowing they would either confirm his worst fears or restore the shattered trust in his marriage. The days leading up to the arrival of the DNA test results were marked by an unbearable tension. James's anxiety was palpable, his thoughts consumed by the impending revelation. He tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy, but the strain was evident in his every action. The anticipation was a heavy weight on his shoulders, and each passing day felt like an eternity. When the results finally arrived, James's hands trembled as he opened the envelope. The room seemed to close in around him as he read the words that would determine the course of his future. The confirmation of his worst fears hit him like a sledgehammer. The child Lila was carrying was not his. The emotional impact was immediate and devastating. James felt a surge of anger, betrayal, and heartbreak, his world crashing down around him. The trust that had been the cornerstone of their marriage was shattered in an instant. He was overwhelmed by a storm of emotions, each one more painful than the last. In that moment, James felt utterly lost, struggling to process the enormity of the betrayal. The DNA test results were more than just a piece of paper. They were a stark confirmation of Lila's infidelity and the end of the life he had known. James's mind raced with questions and regrets. But one thing was clear. He had to confront Lila and seek the truth from her lips. The results were a turning point, setting the stage for a confrontation that would reveal more than he could have ever anticipated. The confrontation between James and Lila was charged with raw emotion. James approached her with the test results in hand, his heart pounding in his chest. The intensity of the moment was palpable, a culmination of weeks of suspicion and heartache. He confronted Lila with the undeniable proof of her infidelity, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and sorrow. Lila's reaction was a mixture of shock, guilt, and defensiveness. The facade she had maintained crumbled, and the truth spilled out in a torrent of tears and apologies. She confessed to the affair with Ethan, revealing the extent of their relationship. The admission was a knife to James's heart, each word deepening the wound. The room was filled with the echoes of their heated exchange, emotions running high as they navigated the painful revelations. James's anger gave way to a profound sense of betrayal. The trust he had once placed in Lila, now irreparably damaged. Lila's attempts to explain and justify her actions only fueled his pain. The betrayal too deep to be mitigated by words. The confrontation exposed the fractures in their marriage, the once solid foundation now reduced to rubble. As the truth emerged, James was faced with the enormity of the situation. The woman he had loved and trusted had deceived him, and the life they had built together was forever changed. The confrontation marked a pivotal moment in their relationship, a point of no return that set James on a new path of self-discovery and healing. In the aftermath of the confrontation, James was engulfed by a maelstrom of emotions. The betrayal had left him shattered, struggling to come to terms with the reality of his situation. His mind was a whirlwind of anger, sadness, and confusion. The once vibrant home he shared with Lila now felt cold and empty, a constant reminder of the trust that had been broken. James sought solace in the company of his sister, Maya, and their close friend, Sophia. Maya, ever the pillar of strength, provided a safe space for James to express his pain and frustration. Sophia, with her empathetic nature, offered a listening ear and words of comfort. Their support was invaluable, helping James navigate the emotional fallout of Lila's betrayal. He spent countless hours in introspection, reflecting on the past and contemplating the future. The emotional scars were deep, but James was determined to find a way to heal. He immersed himself in activities that brought him peace, rediscovering hobbies and passions that had been neglected. Through it all, James grappled with feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. The betrayal had shaken his confidence, but he resolved to rebuild his sense of self-worth. The journey was arduous, marked by moments of progress and setbacks. The support of Maya and Sophia was a constant source of encouragement, helping him stay grounded in his pursuit of healing. James knew that the road to recovery would be long, but he was determined to emerge stronger from the experience. The emotional aftermath of the betrayal was a crucible, forging a new sense of resilience and clarity within him. As James began to navigate life post-revelation, he found himself on a profound journey of self-discovery. The betrayal had forced him to reassess his priorities and re-examine his own identity. He realized that his sense of self had been deeply intertwined with his relationship with Lila. Now he needed to rediscover who he was as an individual. James embarked on this journey by reconnecting with his passions and interests. He took up painting, an old hobby that had always brought him peace. The act of creating art became a therapeutic outlet, allowing him to process his emotions in a constructive way. He also started attending therapy sessions, where he could explore his feelings in a safe and supportive environment. These sessions helped him gain insights into his own emotional landscape, fostering a deeper understanding of himself. James's introspection led him to confront some uncomfortable truths about his marriage. He recognized patterns of complacency and unaddressed issues that had contributed to the breakdown of their relationship. This self-awareness was both painful and liberating, providing a roadmap for his personal growth. Along the way, he leaned on the support of Maya and Sophia, whose unwavering presence was a source of strength. They encouraged him to embrace new experiences and step out of his comfort zone. James began to build new connections, forming friendships that brought fresh perspectives into his life. As he navigated this journey, he discovered a resilience he never knew he possessed. The betrayal had been a catalyst for transformation, pushing him to grow in ways he hadn't imagined. James's journey of self-discovery was marked by moments of introspection, personal growth, and the search for inner peace. It was a testament to his strength and determination, a path that ultimately led him to a place of healing and self-acceptance. James's path to healing took unexpected turns, leading him to new activities and relationships that brought solace and joy. He discovered a love for hiking, finding peace and clarity in nature's embrace. The physical exertion and the beauty of the outdoors became a form of meditation, helping him process his emotions and find balance. Through these hikes, he met a group of outdoor enthusiasts who quickly became friends. Their shared experiences and camaraderie provided a sense of belonging that had been missing from his life. One of these friends, Emma, stood out. She was vibrant, compassionate, and understanding, offering James a new perspective on life and relationships. As they spent more time together, a deep bond formed between them. Emma's presence was a balm for James's wounded heart, her support and encouragement helping him heal. The connection they shared was genuine, free from the shadows of the past. James found himself opening up to the possibility of love again, though he approached it with caution and introspection. Meanwhile, his relationship with Lila remained in flux. They attempted to communicate and find some form of closure, but the scars of betrayal were deep. James realized that true reconciliation might not be possible, and he had to make peace with that. The experience with Lila taught him valuable lessons about trust, forgiveness, and the importance of self-respect. As he continued his journey, James focused on nurturing his own well-being. He immersed himself in new projects, pursued career opportunities, and cultivated a life that was rich and fulfilling. The unexpected path to healing was not without its challenges, but it led James to a place of resilience and hope. He had emerged from the ashes of betrayal, stronger and more self-aware than ever before. Reflecting on his journey, James recognized the profound transformation he had undergone. The themes of betrayal, resilience, and redemption were woven into the fabric of his story, each experience a thread that contributed to his growth. The initial shock of Lila's infidelity had been devastating, but it had also been a catalyst for change. James had learned to navigate the complexities of his emotions, finding strength in vulnerability and courage in the face of pain. His journey of self-discovery had revealed depths of resilience he never knew he possessed. The support of Maya and Sophia, the new connections he had forged, and his own determination had guided him through the darkest moments. James's experience had also imparted valuable lessons about forgiveness and letting go. He understood that healing was a process, one that required patience and self-compassion. The journey had not been easy, but it had led him to a place of acceptance and inner peace. James had found a way to rebuild his life, creating a new narrative that was defined by growth and hope rather than betrayal. His story was a testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience and renewal. As he looked to the future, James felt a sense of closure and optimism. He had navigated the emotional roller coaster, emerging stronger and more self-aware. The unexpected truths that had emerged from the ashes of his marriage had ultimately led him to a deeper understanding of himself and his capacity for healing. James's journey was a powerful reminder that even in the face of profound betrayal, it is possible to find light and rebuild a life of meaning and joy. Life's unpredictable nature often brings challenges that test our strength and resilience. James's story is a poignant example of how a single event can upend our world, forcing us to confront painful truths and navigate the path to healing. The emotional roller coaster he experienced, from the initial shock of betrayal to the journey of self-discovery and redemption, is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to endure and thrive. James's experience underscores the importance of seeking support, embracing vulnerability, and allowing oneself the time and space to heal. It also highlights the power of forgiveness, not necessarily as a means of reconciliation with others, but as a path to inner peace. The surprising truths that emerged from the ashes of James's marriage led to profound personal growth and a renewed sense of self. His journey is a reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is potential for light and transformation. As we navigate the complexities of life and relationships, James's story encourages us to remain resilient, to seek out the support of loved ones, and to trust in our ability to rebuild and find joy once more. Thank you for being a part of Narrative Stories. Your support and engagement mean the world to us. We are committed to bringing you the best in storytelling. What kinds of stories would you like to see next? Share your thoughts in the comments below.